Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome to the GBN Television News for Thursday, December 16th, 2021. Coming up in the news, President of the Senate criticizes Grenada's judicial system for the sentence handed down against Treverson Robertson. Labor representative in the Senate calls for tax reform. 23,000 doses of Pfizer vaccines arrives in Grenada. In this week's GBN Health, Krista Campbell takes a look at sickle cell anemia with local medical practitioner Dr. Sonia Nixon. Coming up in regional developments, questions being raised about annual toy drive in Guyana. Internationally, 5 children dead, several critically injured after jumping castle blown into the air in Australia. And a little later in sports, West Indies and Pakistan ODI tour postponed following COVID-19 outbreak. The details of these and other stories are straight ahead. Stay with us.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Thanks for joining us. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh with the details. President of the Senate, Chester Humphrey, expressed his disappointment with the judicial system in Grenada, referencing the judgment delivered out to Treverson Roberts for his crime against a 5-year-old boy. Mr. Humphrey said the judicial system has been a failure in that instance. Rena Perry-Thomas brings you that story.
The Senate ended with a sound of anger, disgust, and disappointment Wednesday night as President of the Senate, Chester Humphrey, challenged the senators to take action against the magistrate that ruled in the Treverson Roberts case. He said that such a poor ruling should not have been passed, especially when the accused pleaded guilty to the crime.
Because you don't have to wait on the government, You could bring a private member's bill. There has been no sanction against that judicial officer for failing so blatantly to administer justice as is necessary. And you see, when these kind of things happen, it promotes the law of the jungle because it leads citizens to believe, I am not waiting on the court for justice. I'll take justice in my own hands. When judicial officers behave that way.
Roberts pleaded guilty today in the Eastern District of New York to sexually assaulting a 5-year-old child in Grenada. According to court documents, during a trip to Grenada in October 2019, Treverson Roberts, 27 of Brooklyn, a double United States and Grenadian citizen, forced a 5-year-old boy to perform oral sex on him while the boy was temporarily left in Roberts' care. Roberts previously pleaded guilty to Grenadian charges related to the abuse, but did not receive a sentence of imprisonment. Rather, the Grenadian court fined him 1,500 EC dollars and required him to pay 600 EC dollars compensation to the victim. In his closing remarks, the president classed the judgment as degrading and shameful to the Grenadian population, giving no hope to children and women who are abused.
The quality of justice was so abhorrent and poor that the judicial officer expressed no care. The judicial officer failed the entire community of Grenada, failed all the children in our society, failed the judicial services, when that judicial officer refused to impose a custodial sentence.
The rise in sexual offences on children and women in Grenada has become a thorn in the flesh, says Humphrey, also venting his dissatisfaction with the reaction of the churches and people in society.
I was in Paraguay, and I was on the telephone back and forth, trying to mobilize people to come out and demonstrate your disgust. And we moved to have 2 demonstrations. First demonstration in St. George's was so poor, we couldn't mount 6 people. No women's organization, no political organization, no church organization, no trade union organization rallied to express their disgust, first of all, about the crime committed against an infant and the failure of the judicial system.
The president is calling for harsher sentencing for sexual offenders and better judgment by the local judicial system. Roberts faces a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison. A federal district court judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. This case was brought as part of Project Safe Childhood, a nationwide initiative to combat the epidemic of child sexual exploitation and abuse, launched in May 2006 by the Department of Justice. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett-Thomas reporting.
In other news, the labor movement, according to its representative in the Senate, Andre Lewis, has been left stunned by the numbers in the budget document as it relates to personal income tax collection as compared to corporate. Due to the disparities in the figures, Senator Lewis says they are calling on government for tax reform. Gerald Joseph has the details.
Labour calls for tax reform. We want equity. Most of these companies are given tax breaks and concessions. I mean, we pay more, you're collecting more on personal income tax than corporate tax.
Labour Senator Andre Lewis notes that in a review of the breakdown of the revenue collected by the Inland Revenue Division for 2021, personal income tax collection far surpasses that of corporate tax.
That is 62.6 million, right, than corporate tax at 43.6 million. Something just can't be adding up here.
The Labour movement, Senator Lewis says, is therefore proposing a 1% reduction in income tax to allow more money to be in circulation.
If we agree, and we have all agreed, that the pumping of monies into the economy, because that's what the government is doing for this December, which we welcome. We ask that if you do a reform and have a 1% reduction, it will give a more permanency of monies to be spent in the economy.
The senator impresses that the collection of personal income tax also holds a strong correlation to unemployment levels.
Personal income tax in 2020 was $65.9 million. In 2021, it is $62.6 million so far. In 2021, the government have collected about $3.3 million less than in 2020 in relation to personal income tax. Let's look at value-added tax, which is also linked to income, because when people have income, they spend. Value-added tax in 2020, $103.5 million was collected. In 2021, $100.5 million. So in 2021, the government collected about $3 million less in value-added tax. The picture here is that government loses monies because people lost their jobs.
The Labour Senator says the job losses and pay cuts experienced in 2021 have impacted significantly revenue collection in terms of personal income tax. I am Gerald Joseph for GBN News.
Minister of Infrastructure Senator Norland Cox has come in defense of the allocation towards infrastructure in the budget for 2022. Here's Gerald Joseph once again with that story.
Capital projects dominate government spending going into 2022, following a 22.8% growth in the construction sector witnessed in 2021. $333.8 million are allocated on the capital side, and Senator Nolan Cox says investment in infrastructure is pivotal to the recovery of Grenada's economy while positively impacting other sectors. Addressing concerns of the lack of investment in the productive sectors, the infrastructure minister says construction have proved crucial to every aspect of the economy.
Hence the reason why when you have crisis, why is it that this sector is always called upon? Because that is the sector that helps the economy rebound quicker than any other sector.
Noting his 15 years of experience as a livestock extension officer, Senator Cox says greater benefits lie with construction rather than agriculture.
Mr. President, the risk associated with agriculture is 10 times high than the risk associated with somebody investing in it, probably in any other sector.
NDC's Deacon Mitchell is one of many who question the lack of more for agriculture and health.
Citizens of Grenada, we cannot eat the road. We cannot eat the concrete drains. We cannot eat the buildings.
Meanwhile, Labour Senator Andrew Lewis says given the importance of health, education and agriculture in building resilience to external shocks, the Labour movement is also concerned with the vast disparity towards infrastructure.
We have all agreed that the high cost of living that we are experiencing today is significantly impacted by imported inflation. And imported inflation, we can't fault the government for its direct impact. What we can do is to fault from the context of not having the local policies, the policies to address the local strengthening of the activities that will help push on those issues.
Senator Lewis says greater investment in health is needed, which directly correlates to regularizing nurses and mental health issues, among others.
These are all health related. These are all health related, and therefore we would like to see us putting our money where our mouth is.
I am Gerald Joseph for GBN News.
23,000 doses of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines arrived in Grenada on Wednesday. This is the first of 3 shipments from the U.S. government aimed at aiding in the fight against COVID-19. 2 more shipments are expected by the end of this week, as we hear in this Chrislina John report.
The first shipment of 29,250 doses of the Pfizer vaccine back in August served as Grenada's first alternative to the AstraZeneca vaccine, which was the only option at the time. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles said this boost brings Grenada closer to the numbers needed to achieve herd immunity.
This will allow Grenada to be in a very favorable position as we continue our response against the COVID-19 and as we look to the future with the emergence of other worrying variants. This is a significant boost to the health security of Grenada, and it goes a long way towards ensuring that everyone is protected.
The Deputy Chief of Mission at the U.S. Embassy in Barbados is David Smear.
And adds to the previous deliveries that we have given to Grenada to total around 100,000 life-saving Pfizer vaccines for the people and the government of Grenada. This is a true symbol of our friendship, a concrete symbol of our partnership, because we're all in this together. Too many Grenadans have died here in the United States and all around the world, and no one is safe until everyone is safe. So it is the determination of the Biden administration to share our vaccines with the people of Grenada and people all around the world through the COVAX donation mechanism and bilaterally.
Agriculture Minister Peter David received this first shipment on behalf of the Health Minister. Minister David says the donation of 100,000 vaccines to the people of Grenada is not simply a gesture, but rather a clear way of the U.S. helping Grenada with its economic development.
I want to thank you because this is a clear indication the seriousness with which you take COVID, but it's also a clear indication of the relationship that we have with the United States. I want you, on behalf of the government of Grenada, on behalf of the Minister of Health, on behalf of the Prime Minister, I want to express our deepest gratitude to you and to extend this to Ambassador Tagliatella in Barbados, to the President Biden in Washington, our deep gratitude for this. COVID-19 has had a devastating effect on all of us, not only in terms of people who died, but certainly on the economy, on livelihoods. And the solution, I think it's universally accepted that the easiest and most available solution is vaccinations.
Christina John, GBN News.
This is GBN Primetime Edition of News. Coming up in this week's GBN Health, Krista Campbell takes a look at sickle cell anemia with medical practitioner Dr. Sonia Nixon. Stay with us.
With Republic Bank. Light up your home with renovation. Light up your driveway with a new vehicle. Even better, light up the faces of your loved ones with a loan from Republic Bank. Get up to $50,000 unsecured, reduced interest rates, quick approvals, and win cash prizes with Republic Bank.
The holidays are here. Republic spreading the cheer. Come on and light up your Christmas with Republic.
Make this Christmas your brightest with Republic Bank. Special terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Your vehicle insurance should never break your bank. With Beacon, you can get up to 35% off your fully comprehensive car insurance and still get full protection from unexpected damages with free loss of use, windscreen cover, and special perils. When it comes to your insurance, always be sure you settle for more. Call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and get a quote today.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Ariza Credit Union wishes you a joyous and peaceful Christmas. May you and your loved ones continue to be safe as you enjoy the festive season.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Ariza Credit Union, your financial freedom, your future.
We're here to make you happy, 'cause that's what we do.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, The Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Light up this Christmas with Republic. Come on and rise and look for holidays with Republic.
Light up your Christmas with Republic Bank. Light up your home with renovation. Light up your driveway with a new vehicle. Even better, light up the faces of your loved ones with a loan from Republic Bank. Get up to $50,000 unsecured. Reduce interest rates, quick approvals, and win cash prizes with Republic Bank.
The holidays are here. Republic spreading the cheer. Come on and light up your Christmas with Republic.
Make this Christmas your brightest with Republic Bank. Special terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to the news. The private sector seemingly has no issues with the increases in central government debt or the 2022 budget being presented at a deficit. This comes as its representative, Senator Christopher Diali, alluded to such sentiments during his contribution to the budget on Wednesday. Gerard Joseph has the details.
A second consecutive budget deficit comes as no surprise to private sector Senator Christopher Diali, who notes that it is not restricted to Grenada, as he cited Trinidad and Tobago as a prime example. Senator Diali says this points to the challenges countries and economies are facing as a result of the pandemic, while reducing the risk associated. The senator says despite the increase in the debt load and concerns as to where the funds are sourced, it must be rationalized against the debt to GDP ratio.
And the answer is simple. Our GDP have fallen, which is the denominator, so the ratio will go up. But our debt have also increased. Why? Because we have to continue to support the economic aspects that we must do. Pay salaries on time, pay social benefits on time, provide stimulus packages to help people who have been seriously impacted by the COVID crisis.
The private sector senator says borrowing must be done.
We must get help. We have to. And that is nothing rocket science. Where else would it come from? It must come from somewhere, Mr. President. So I am not really disturbed by we have increased debt, because I think it has to happen in order to facilitate what we're doing.
Senator Diali is hopeful that the 3-year projections of lowering the debt to GDP ratio to 55% are realized.
So, Mr. President, I am not overly concerned, because if we didn't take the debt, we probably would have a greater social uprising for people in the hotel sector who are out of jobs from all aspects. Whether it's the plant and workers in the plant, whether it's the taxi drivers, the vendors, the entertainment industry, the restaurants, it was a whole-scale shutdown of that sector with thousands of people that needed some level of intervention and support.
He commends government on putting forward 3 stimulus packages while borrowing in some cases to fund the relief.
The cost of the borrowing to me is less than the social outfall that we'd have had if we didn't do it.
According to the 2020 annual debt report, the total disbursed outstanding debt at the end of 2020 was EC 1.988 billion, or 7.6% of GDP. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
A campaign has been launched aimed at addressing the consumption of processed foods and how it contributes to childhood obesity and the development of non-communicable diseases. This undertaking is facilitated by the National Chronic Non-Communicable Disease Commission.
Statistics show that over the past 5 or so years, there has been a drastic upsurge in early childhood obesity. A lack of education on the part of parents has been blamed.
The message that we want to get out, the National Chronic Non-Communicable Disease Commission, is that we need to look out for our children. They are our future. They are the ones that will be there for us, parents, as we grow older. We need to be able to make mindful decisions in terms of the food choices that we make for our children and for ourselves.
Lydia Brown is the Executive Secretary at the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council. What they are promoting is healthy eating habits.
If we eat good, natural, unprocessed, minimally processed food most often, we are assisting ourselves and our children in preventing the onset of overweight, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, diseases that are crippling us here in Grenada, major causes of death on the top list of discharges from the hospital.
In recent months, a Healthy School Zone project was introduced in an attempt to get schools to sell healthier snacks to students. Brown says they have not quite achieved their objective.
The way I would like it to. I think it was a good step in terms of banning certain items from the school compounds, but we still have the concern that there are persons selling the same items in very close proximity to the schools. It's very much, I think it's easier for persons to just buy a few packet snacks and have it in the house so that they can give it to the children so they don't have to prepare. But so much is being missed when we're able to engage our children in preparing their own snacks.
Brown says another attempt made by the Commission to curb non-communicable diseases was that of the frontal package labeling. This did not materialize, and according to her, more discussions need to be had. She said to introduce this approach, it should be done, in her view, in a phased manner. Sheena Warner-Edwards, Communications Officer for Healthy Caribbean Coalition, which is the overarching body that provides the link between 5 civil society organizations across the region, inclusive of Grenada Cancer and Non-Communicable Commission. Based on statistics, Edwards says they have seen an increase in childhood obesity. Policies need to be addressed, she says.
We do understand the realm and how the commercial determinants of health kind of fit into the whole, I guess, picture. And we see, policy, in many cases, we need policy in our countries to, help support or assist. So some policy recommendations, especially within the school environment, will be the removal of sugar-sweetened beverages from within the school environment, and those same ultra-processed foods, and have more wholesome foods provided through whether it's the school meal service and water coolers.
Close monitoring will be conducted to ensure the message gets out. Christina John, GBN News.
What is sickle cell anemia, and what is it like living with this inherited disease? The answers to these potent questions will be revealed in this week's edition of GBN Health.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Brandon, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Sickle cell anemia is an inherited red blood cell disorder in which there is not enough healthy red blood cells to carry oxygen throughout the body. In sickle cell anemia, the red blood cells are shaped like sickles or a crescent moon. These rigid, sticky cells can get stuck in small blood vessels, which can slow or block blood flow and oxygen to parts of the body. The multinational pharmaceutical company Novartis is among age agencies and companies that have been trying to shed light on this ailment. They recently shared Faith's story on what it is like to be a young adult living with the diagnosis.
Throughout my childhood, pain has been the biggest factor. It's been really bad, and obviously I had to go into a hospital with crisis. Aside from the pain, it's just the tiredness. I always feel fatigued. In school, like staying concentrated in lessons, engaging with conversations with my friends, it's become a huge challenge for me.
For several decades, finding a cure for sickle cell anemia seemed impossible. Patients made do with treatments to relieve pain and help prevent complications associated with the disease. However, experts say sickle cell research is booming after decades of stagnation, and talk of a cure is real.
Right? People need to know that there is a cure, and it's not experimental. It's not like this new thing that has just happened. It's been around for a while, and we're making it better and better.
According to sickle cell disease expert Ife Osonko, help is on the way.
Sickle cell disease is now a disease of all ages, and the treatments have to be treatments for everybody of all ages, not just for children. The other study that was presented was a gene therapy study, and I'm excited that there's many more ways of doing gene therapy, and the patient is doing well. Now it's 6 months, so we have to give it more time to see how long this result lasts, and if it translates to changing their overall outcome. But it's amazing that there's all this excitement and all this research happening in sickle cell disease. So I'm pretty pumped.
Dr. Osonko was among experts attending an international conference on sickle cell and finding a cure. COVID-19 may have caused a diversion of attention and intensity, but experts are committed to making continued efforts to find a cure for those who battle the blood disorder. For this week's Health Update, I am Krista Campbell reporting.
And now let's turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Rena Perry-Thomas has been looking around the various platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell believes Grenada's future in oil and gas is doubtful. However, private sector Senator Christopher Diali is now recommending that government follow through on the issue of natural gas. GBN brought this story, and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Alpha Fari wrote, "Just admit that we were told a big fat lie because the government had nothing to campaign on. I don't know what Grenadians are believing." Roger Mitchell comment, "But that wasn't what you were saying before. According to your words, we found oil and this is a lot of money. Did it dry up? So what are you going to fool the people with this time?" Karen Jolly said, "Just take a look at our neighbor Guyana and it's definitely tell us a different story. They're profiting over $3 trillion in oil and gas. And the best part is that they are the newest member of the OPEC." And Jackson wrote, "Speak to people the condition and how the system works before they start talking crazy talk." And finally, Brian Joseph commented, "I'm confused. Someone please help me to unconfuse me. I cannot find a word." That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platform.
Thank you, Rena. And still ahead, Grenada Credit Union League partners with Rotary Club for the maintenance of Quarantine Point.
Super Sunday! Sunday, December 19th is Super Sunday in Grenada! Wow! And this year, it's gonna be online with a whopping $20,000 US. Yes, you heard right. $20,000 US to be won. Just get a ticket for only US $20 and you stand a chance to win. Get your tickets now from numerous box offices island-wide in Grenada. If you're playing overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Sunday, December 19th is Super Sunday. Join the fun and excitement online. Play Waggy T Virtual Bingo and win cash this Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Get vaxxed, hey, hey, vaccinated. Get vaxxed, hey, hey, get vaccinated. Vaccinated. So wear your mask, wash your hands, and practice social distance. This is we chance to advance. Come let we fight this COVID at once. So come on, let we fall in line. We want to come back to we social life. There is vaccination island wide. So come on, let we fight it to protect we and we family.
This is a message from the Grenada Red Cross and the Ministry of Health.
There are those who say they care, and then there is Jediah's Pharmacy, conveniently located at the front entrance of the Brew Street Mall, right next to a Rise Credit Union. We offer premium quality products and services, and when you need us, we are there, offering you around-the-clock service, Mondays to Fridays, 7:30 to 7 p.m., Saturdays, 9 until 7 p.m., and Sundays, 10 until 2. At Jediah's Pharmacy, we show care with a beautiful smile. Call us today at 440-5342. The number again, 440-5342. Happy holidays from the management and staff of Jediah's Pharmacy.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
Welcome back. The Grenada Credit Union League, under its Grenada Credit Unions brand, is partnering with the Rotary Club of Grenada for the next few years to maintain and enhance Quarantine Point. Here's Rena Perry-Thomas with the details.
For the next 5 years, the Grenada Credit Unions, through its league, will be collaborating with the Rotary Club of Grenada to preserve the history and surroundings of the recreational park. To signify the event, a sign was erected at the park on Thursday by both organizations, as the alliance is predicted to be fruitful. President of the Rotary Club of Grenada, Alfonso Daniel, in his remarks, explains how difficult it has been for the club to continue to conserve the park, welcoming the support of the credit unions in this time of need.
The club have a lease for 33 and a half years on this grounds here. It's 4.5 plus another 3.5 which we want to add, and as you see, of this historic ground. Let me say that we had some challenges to keep it going in these hard times. I must say the Grenada Credit Union League stepped up to the plate to maintain it, because we have a contract to the tune of $3,000 per month. Looking forward to another 5 years after the first 5 years. So on behalf of the Rotary Club of Grenada, and indeed the Rotary Clubs in Grenada, I want to say welcome and thank you.
President of the Grenada Credit Union League, Andy Cadet, says the initiative is just another way of playing their part in community development and showing their love for people.
The Quarantine Park is part of the annals of our history, Grenada's history. History strong, rich, and today we are not rewriting history, but adding to that history by doing what we are doing here, working in partnership, in collaboration with the Rotary Club of Grenada. The Rotary Club of Grenada and the Credit Union movement, we are one thing in common. What we do, what we see, people. So it's people helping people, and by us working together here is a true testimony of our responsibility to not just the credit union members, but all of Grenada.
The club hosts the annual Christmas at the Point event, where family and friends can come out and enjoy the lights and events during the festive season. This year, the event is carded for December 4th to January 15th, 2022. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
And now let's take a peek through the GBN Eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's submission has sentimental value to our citizen journalist. Our Eyesore reporter relayed, quote, "Growing up, I've known burial grounds or cemeteries to be sacred places, but nowadays people are just lawless and disrespectful. First it was a cow, and now goats. What next? It would be nice if the Chief Environmental Health Office along with the Ministry of Health get rid of this practice once and for all," unquote. We thank our citizen journalist for this submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us. Coming up next, the weather followed by sports, regional and international news. Don't go anywhere.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Communion showing that we care with gifts of love with joy. Gifts of love with joy, bringing love for you this year. Communion showing that we care with gifts of love with joy.
We're bringing you gifts of love with.
Let's get tough on greed and larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from our produce sellers. To all the people, 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the farmers, please don't steal produce from your brother. Then you're selling to
traffickers, hotels, and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop radio larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report radio larceny, call 300.
It's been a long and challenging year, but you know what? It's time for some real self-care. Come indulge and enjoy December Pamper Me Spa specials at Escape to Haven Health Spa by Nirvana. Imagine being pampered with a relaxing mint full body massage, $140. Relaxing aroma facial, $70. Relaxing aroma full body scrub, $100. Relaxing pedicure with a mint soap, $75. We are located at X Health Plaza, Grand Am. Call 231-6642, 418-7115 or 449-7753 to book your appointment. Opening hours are Tuesday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Gift cards are available online at www.nirvana.gd or at our XL Plaza, Belmont and Brew Street Mall locations. Have a pampering and relaxing Christmas and a rejuvenating New Year. Escape to Haven Health Spa by Nirvana. We know real body care. This offer ends on January 9th.
You're already ill and have no time or energy to walk every which way to access your healthcare needs. So come to Spice Isle Imaging on the Carenage for a one-spot stop for all your health service needs. See our in-house doctor and get your meds from the pharmacy right on location. Digital X-ray, MRI, CT scans, mammography, ultrasound, and laboratory services are also available. So for that moment when life makes demands on you, you can make demands on us. Visit us at Spice Isle Imaging, Carenage, St. George's.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
And now here's the public weather forecast for the state of Grenada. Tonight's minimum temperature 24.5 degrees Celsius. The weather will be partly cloudy and windy with a few brief isolated showers. Winds will be east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas will be moderate to rough with waves 6 to 9 feet in open waters. A marine advisory remains in effect, so please take note. Tides will be low at 7:30 p.m. and high at 1:40 a.m. On Friday, sunrise will be at 6:21 a.m. and sunset 5:46 p.m. The weather will be partly cloudy and windy with a few brief light to moderate morning and nighttime showers. Into the weekend, sunrise on Saturday will be 6:22 a.m. and sunset 5:47 p.m. The weather will be partly cloudy, becoming fair at times, and windy with a few brief light to moderate morning showers. Then on Sunday, sunrise and sunset 6:22 a.m. and 5:47 p.m. respectively. It will be partly cloudy and windy with a few brief light to moderate isolated showers. And that's the weather report and forecast valid for tonight and the next 3 days. Stay tuned. Sports is next. Good evening, sporting fans. We bowl off with cricket. The ODI series between Pakistan and the West Indies have been postponed due to an outbreak of the COVID-19 virus among the visiting delegation. 5 additional members of the touring party tested positive for the virus after PCR tests conducted by the Pakistan Cricket Board on Wednesday. Shea Hope, Justin Greaves and Akil Hussain were the players who tested positive, along with assistant coach Roddy Estwick and team physician Dr. Man Singh. These latest infections come on the heels of Kyle Mayers, Roston Chase and Sheldon Cottrell testing positive just prior to the start of the tour. All will remain in isolation until they produce negative tests. It is against that background that the Pakistan Cricket Board and Cricket West Indies issued a joint statement announcing the postponement of the 3 ODIs scheduled. The West Indies team members who returned negative results following Wednesday's PCR and today's rapid antigen tests will depart from Pakistan after tonight's match. Those who have tested positive will complete their isolation in Karachi before their travel arrangements are finalized to allow them to rejoin their families in time for Christmas celebrations. Meanwhile, West Indies captain Nicholas Pooran, hitting his highest T20 international score, was upstaged by Mohammad Rizwan and Babar Azam, who guided Pakistan to their highest successful chase in T20 cricket on Thursday. The left-handed Pooran took the initiative and played some breathtaking strokes as he led the way in the team's final international match for the year. He scored 64 off 37 balls to help the visitors score 207 for 3. But a 158-run stand between Rizwan and Babar in just 15.1 overs all but ensured a 3-0 series sweep for Pakistan. And finally, 5 Premier League games due to take place this weekend have been postponed because of COVID-19 outbreaks. Following the announcement on Thursday morning that Manchester United's game against Brighton on Saturday was off, the Premier League later confirmed 4 more fixtures would be postponed. Sky Sports has the details.
Looking ahead to this weekend in the Premier League fixture list, we were expecting there to be 10 games this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. As things stand, there will only be 5 games. 5 games have now been postponed. Just in the last few minutes, the Premier League saying that Southampton versus Brentford, that was supposed to kick off on Saturday at 3 p.m. That has now been postponed. And according to the Premier League, that is because of an ongoing COVID-19 outbreak at Brentford, which means their training ground is closed, which means they cannot prepare properly for that game. Southampton, Brentford off. Also on Saturday, Watford versus Crystal Palace, Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff. That game is off as well. The Premier League say that that is because there's a continuing COVID outbreak at Watford, and Watford do not have enough players to fulfill the fixture. West Ham versus Norwich, again Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff. That game is postponed, and that is because Norwich have insufficient players to fulfill the fixture due to COVID, injuries and other illnesses. And also on Saturday, a game is off. No, sorry, not Saturday. On Sunday, this was a 12 p.m. kickoff, Everton versus Leicester City. And this is off because Leicester have a COVID outbreak within their squad and they do not have enough players to fulfill the fixture. So as things stand, there are only going to be 5 Premier League games this weekend. 2 of them are on Saturday, Aston Villa versus Burnley, and also Leeds United versus Arsenal, which is the 5:30 kickoff. And then on Sunday, there were supposed to be 4 games. At the moment, there are only going to be 3. Wolves versus Chelsea at 2, Newcastle versus Manchester City at 2:15, and also Spurs versus Liverpool at 4:30.
And that's sports news for now. Regional and international developments are up next after the break. Tonight's regional news begins in Guyana, where questions are being raised about the country's annual toy drive. According to reports, toys that arrived at a community were recalled by the Speaker of the House, and the reason for doing so is unknown. Lennox Schumann, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, tells government they should stop playing politics with Christmas. Let's get the details in this report.
Every year, the members of staff of the Parliament of Ghana is usually accompanied by political actors within the parliamentary setting to distribute toys and good tidings to children in various communities across the country, and this year was no different. However, something interesting happened on Wednesday which caused some eyebrows to be raised. Nightly News got wind of a Facebook post by the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Lennox Schumann, earlier on Wednesday, informing members of his village, Pekuri Mission, that the entourage from the Parliament, which had already arrived in the village on Wednesday, equipped with the tools to bring smiles to the faces of the boys and girls in that community, was recalled by the Speaker of the House, Mansour Nadir, and that the reason for doing so was unknown. Schumann confirmed this with Nightly News later in the afternoon.
And we got a half an hour late start. And when we got to the village road entrance there, we literally just turned into the village. And the phone call came.
Until now, it remains unknown why the team was recalled, as several calls and messages to the Speaker, Mansour Nadir, for a comment on the matter went unanswered. Nadir later responded to the messages sent by this reporter, asking for his identity, but did not respond to the questions posed. Schumann has opined that it is perhaps because he was part of the distribution team that the entourage was recalled, given his recent stance against the ruling administration on a number of matters, especially those affecting indigenous people of the country. Nightly News then reached out to the opposition chief whip, Christopher Jones, who shadows the Minister of Governance and Parliamentary Affairs, for a comment, to which he informed that to the best of his knowledge, none of his opposition colleagues were ever invited to be part of the initiative. Nightly News further inquired of Jones and Schumann whether this initiative is publicly or privately sponsored. Schumann stated that he suspects it is privately funded, while Jones admitted that the initiative is not privately funded. Nightly News also became aware of a Facebook post by the minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, showing him alongside members of staff of the Parliament engaged in another distribution exercise on Tuesday at Zealot Phases 1 and 3 on the west coast of Demerara. Earlier on Wednesday at a virtual press conference, the leader of the opposition, Joseph Harmon, criticized the government for what he deems to be its poor management of the economy, even as he accused it of mismanaging public funds. Wendell Badri for the HGB Nightly News.
And now some sad news as we move internationally. An unthinkable tragedy in Australia has left 5 children dead and 4 more hospitalized in critical condition when a gust of wind blew a bouncy castle into the air as the children were celebrating the end of the school term. A warning, the details in this story may be distressing to some viewers.
An end-of-year celebration gone tragically wrong.
Well, today's tragedy at Hillcrest Primary School here in Devonport is devastating and heartbreaking for all involved.
Parents rushed to the school just after 10 a.m. after being notified of a serious incident. They arrived to find rescue helicopters, ambulances and police surrounding the school. A gust of wind blew a jumping castle and several inflatable Zorb balls into the air. Children were playing on them. Some fell 10 metres to the ground. 2 boys and 2 girls died. They were in grade 5 and 6.
On a day when these children were meant to be celebrating their last day of primary school, instead we're all mourning their loss.
4 children were critically injured and were flown to hospitals around Tasmania.
Young children on a fun day out together with their families, and it turns to such horrific tragedy. At this time of year, it just breaks your heart.
The school usually holds a picnic at the end of the year, but this year it organised a series of activities on campus. It's turned into a day which has devastated the local community and beyond.
It's going to be one of the toughest times we've faced, and there's no getting around that.
There's an outpouring of grief.
There is no doubt that this has been a very confronting and distressing scene. Support and counselling is being made available to the families affected by this and the school community, along with the first responders.
Questions remain as to how this tragedy happened. Liz Gwynn, ABC News, Devonport.
And in breaking news, police have confirmed a fifth child has died in the accident.
And that's it for regional and international news. A recap of the headlines is up next. And now let's look back at what made news tonight. President of the Senate, Chester Humphrey, criticizes Grenada's judicial system for the sentence handed down against Treverson Roberts. Labour representative in the Senate calls for tax reform. 23,000 doses of Pfizer vaccines arrive in Grenada. In this week's GBN Health, Krista Campbell took a look at sickle cell anemia. In regional developments, questions are being raised about the annual toy drive in Guyana. Internationally, 5 children die, several critically injured after jumping castle blown into the air in Australia. And in sports, West Indies and Pakistan ODI tour postponed following COVID-19 outbreak. That's the end of GBN Nightly News for today, Thursday, December 16th, 2021. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh. Enjoy the rest of your night.